Okay, it's time for an impromptu video here. More or less my thoughts on the Gundam Witch from Mercury trailer. All 30 seconds of it. Features girl, features robot. Robot looks like Gundam. There's my impressions. So you might be wondering why I'm doing this video. Well, I kind of noticed there were two major reactions to this trailer. The first reaction were people who were way too hyped. And I get it, I'm hyped too, but we know next to nothing about this series. We've seen a character, a robot, and a title. And I know the overly dissecting of a trailer has been around since at least the 90s, and it has been a trope for so long that even South Park made fun of it. So, yeah, I get it, but everyone, just calm down. I mean, we'll find out more about the characters, the production staff, and all that probably in the next month or two. There's no reason to really freak out about it right now until we can start making educated guesses based on information we've been given. After all, if we saw a picture of Christina Mackenzie and the Gundam Alex, we would start making guesses about what Gundam 0080 is without ever seeing Bernie or Al. That being said, the design for the Gundam looks kind of coolish, and the character design looks fine. I'm just really curious about some of the behind-the-scenes stuff, and of course seeing more characters and robots. Now, I said there were two groups. And here is where things get a little more awkward, I guess. There's a second group of people, handful of weirdos on Twitter, as it always is, who are basically saying that Gundam is dead, this will be the worst Gundam series ever, blah, 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 because we saw a female character. I've noticed that there seem to be two different types of people when it comes to this opinion. The first type are those who seem to just be bandwagoning on because they can. And the other are very, very firm believers that a female lead in a sci-fi series or movie means it's instantly bad. Let's cover the first group first. All I gotta say to those people who are jumping on the bandwagon is, if you're not really a Gundam fan, please don't throw in your 2 cents. We don't need to hear it. If you are a Gundam fan, I'd like to know why you're jumping on this bandwagon. There have been plenty of badass women in Gundam since 1979 when the series began. Whether it was Sayla in the original series, Emma in Zeta Gundam, Rue in Double Zeta, Seema in 0083, Cecily in F91, or Brea in Crossbones if you prefer. We have quite a few women in the UC already who are awesome and badass, and that's only a fraction of them. This is excluding the alternate universe characters, like Rain and Allenby from G Gundam, Lady Une and Noin from Gundam Wing, Tifa and Anil from Gundam X, Maru Ramius and Kigali from Seed, Sumeragi and Paris from 00, etc., etc., etc. This isn't including a bunch of mangas that feature strong female characters, or even full-on have female leads, and the sheer amount of female support characters and main characters that appear within the various Gundam video games. Gundam's filled with a lot of women. If seeing one woman is making you nervous about a series, you gotta take a moment and step away from Twitter and from whatever YouTuber is trying to poison your brain. Look in the mirror and say, I'm a Gundam fan. Here's a list of my favorite characters, male and female. And by the time you're done with that, you'll be fine, and just ignore any of the people trying to poison you against the series when all we've seen is a 30-second trailer. As for Group 2, the best I can guess with these people is that they aren't Gundam fans. Merely carpetbaggers coming in and trying to start up some controversy because of a new Gundam series. At best, these people have maybe seen Unicorn. More than likely, they're probably just people who've seen Darling in the Franxx, Evangelion, or some other fanservice-heavy series of almost no plot. Yeah, I threw shit at Evangelion, deal with it. Getting away from that, what I'm trying to say is, it is pretty clear these people are not Gundam fans. You couldn't be a Gundam fan and be anti-female characters in Gundam. Gundam is so heavily built around female characters as mech pilots, support staff, officers, civilians, new types, etc., etc., that you couldn't get through a Gundam series without losing your mind over how many women in positions of power there are. Overall, I just want to say this. If you're part of the anti based on a 30-second trailer, you might need to take a moment to step away from the computer and think about that. It's a 30-second trailer, and you are deciding it's the worst Gundam ever. You're deciding it has terrible storytelling, bad mech designs, and unlikable characters. You're already putting this in the same category as Igloo, Unicorn, Reconquista and G, and Gundam Seed Destiny. And that's pretty harsh words, considering we've seen 30 seconds of a trailer. As for me, I'll wait till I see more about the series. I need to know about the staff, the character designs, the mech designs, and ideally some form of story, especially if it's going to be its own universe or part of the Universal Century. I'm curious what all of you think. Do you think the series is going to be bad based on 30 seconds? Are you waiting to see what's going to happen? Or do you think this is just going to be another fun Gundam adventure with probably some heavily depressing moments and themes? Otherwise, please like and subscribe, share the video around, especially if you see people who are doing the whole anti on 30 seconds thing. And until next time, I'll see you at the tavern.